what's up? Let's start. Oh, bring the music down.
Bring my headphones down.
You just cut it. Look at that.
It's still too loud. I can't even do this.
What's the problem?
You don't like my voice?
It's like volume 10 out of 10. Bring it down so
Really?
I can speak. Yeah, it's insane.
We're live.
I know.
Figure it out.
Well, good. Turn it the fuck down so I can do the show. Jesus Christ.
Really? That's on Dave's end.
Dude,
Let the audience know that wasn't my fault.
Turn your
the
mic
audience
down.
can hear you,
You guys are
100%.
such babies.
Dude, I got one ear. I
Stop
can't
crying.
hear
Take your
anything.
headphones off.
Well, then I won't hear you.
I'm too old for this. What's up, Brian?
I don't know. We're here.
Is it better?
We're here. Yes, it's a lot.
It's
better.
a little better.
Oh, it's okay. It's
Can I bring the music in a little bit? We didn't really get the full.
Yeah, let's restart.
Yeah,
Now
let's
that
let's reset.
Ready, round 3.
I'm ready.
2, 1. It's Brian Sosha, and we are live from Satellite 5.
What's up, brother?
Man, I'm feeling great. I know you're feeling great. Turn the bed off because I can't hear myself think. It's still really loud, but we're here.
Ridiculously loud.
We're here. That's all right. That's what we do,
don't
man.
know what the problem
Banging
is.
it. It's all right. We'll figure it out. Glad to be here. How you doing, Rob?
I'm great, man. We
I
got
don't-
some really good stories to talk about today. I think let the audience know.
Well, I had a whole intro all planned. I got all thrown off. I was going to talk about how like we're cool as ice, like spots on dice, like white on rice. I had a whole thing going. But forget about
we
it.
keep it real, man.
So a lot happening in the combat sports world. Obviously, you've been following, and we're glad you're here again with this the BKFC show. Thank you for being here. Not just with us, but I mean, we have to talk about what everybody's talking about, and we'll get into New York. We'll talk about New York coming up. That's going to be a great show, of course. BKFC.com. We're also going to talk about Cain Velasquez today. I mean, there's a lot to unpack. We want to hear him, so let us know what you think as we're going along here. I'm sure they're already typing "Free Cain" in the comment section.
Yeah.
You know, the T-shirts coming out. We'll talk about that. There's some drama you may have seen online with Mike Richmond, the Marine. Huge respect for him as a fighter, but there was some other drama. He was upset that something happened within BKFC, and he called us out. We're going to address that as well. What about Thiago Alves on TMZ Sports? And we saw it all throughout the fighting community, talking about a fight that he wants with Mike Perry. We'll talk about that as well. Other than that, we know what's going on in Ukraine. That's the thing everyone else is talking about. I mean, we've seen that everywhere. So we're going to talk about the Ukrainian fighters that stayed to fight and how much respect I have for that. We'll
Hell
talk
yeah,
about
man.
that too. I think when I read that, I was like, all right. I think I would like to say I would do that. You know, I think every person would.
Yeah.
But you don't know till you're in that situation, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with Cain.
Ooh, what a big story that is.
Cain Velasquez. I mean, so when I got...
Gentlemen, I'm jumping in here.
Uh-oh.
The audio's out of sync. We got to throw a slate up and.
Are we going to do the Kung Fu thing again?
Yeah, I don't know. It keeps doing that
Let's-
for the last few shows.
Hold on. Are we still on the air?
We're still on the air right
Okay.
now. I'm just
So here we
informing
go.
the
Hold on.
audience.
I'm going to punch you now.
Oh, what's there? There's a delay?
No, I think that our mouths aren't
Fixing
matching.
it, yeah.
They're
Yeah, it's
fixing
not
it.
synced.
That's the Evan keeps it on track in there. He
Go
gets it
ahead.
fixed. Is it working now? So I think we're back. We're back. Yes, they said we're coming back. Do our lips
The
sync?
comments
Is
will let
everything
us know.
synced? Did anyone catch what I said last?
I don't know, but I heard. What you
Hopefully,
said.
I might still have a job.
I don't
after
know if
this.
that's. They cut us off. I got really nervous when you said that. So we forgot to mention that Rob was gone last week. And if you remember last week, Evan was co-host. Evan did a great job. The thing was, we had nothing from Florida. No headphones, no lights, nothing.
No equipment.
It was set up in here like an adult movie shoot. I thought I was coming to an adult movie shoot. We had these little like flashlights on us.
What?
It was weird. Evan, did it not look like one, Evan? We both said that.
Well, you would know more about that than I
I've
would.
starred in many of them.
My man.
What's your name?
Yeah, real fast. Well, they always say it
My
was
name?
the street you grew up
Okay,
in
okay.
and like your middle name, right? So your street you grew up in would be your first name. Your middle name would be your last name in porn. So
Really?
what would that be? Yeah.
I'd be Adams Andrew.
That's a great
That's a
name,
great
man.
porn name. Yeah. I thought it was your pet. Your first
Nah,
pet.
I'd be Riverview Thomas.
Ooh, all right, Evan. What's your
man.
porn name, Ev?
All right, we're still here fighting with audio. You,
Okay, you don't
do
have a
your
porn
thing.
name? Okay.
Oh, boy.
So-
what was the? What's the?
Wants to get it
All
now.
right, so apparently
I want in.
your porn name is the street that you grew up on is your first name, and then your last name would be your middle name. So what would your porn name be?
Hold on, say it again.
It would be the street you grew up in.
Okay.
Yeah, the street name would be your first name.
What lane?
And then it would be your middle name would be your last name.
Orchard Lane, James.
Oh, you all got
I'll
good
tell you,
names.
man. Yeah,
Maybe
let
we
us
do
know.
careers.
I want to hear in the comments.
What your name would be.
What would your porn name be? It's the street you grew up in,
yeah.
right? and your middle name would be
See,
your last
I had
name.
always heard that it was the reverse, but then there's some kind of name. Maybe it's your movie star name. It would be the street you grew up on, or your middle name and your first pet. And I didn't have it. I
Okay.
had Fish. So I'd be like Andrew Fish. Like I didn't have names for him. Do you name your fish? I don't know. Although I did have a goldfish. Yeah, I can't believe someone actually married this guy here.
Yeah,
You know?
I got a the only thing close to that is I had a previous relationship. I had a dog, and I thought it was a male dog, so I named it John Connor. Like, oh no, it's a female. I'm like, all right, Sarah Connor.
Sarah Kondo. Sarah Kondo.
Oh man, German Shepherd, what a great dog. But
I'm sure. So you can let us know your adult movie star name, and let us know if you had a pet too. What the heck? We'll shout your pets out. Why not? We're feeling kind of weird today. So I think we're good to go. Let's talk about the the Kane situation. Free Kane. We're seeing it everywhere.
Yep.
I think most people tend to agree with what happened. I know Chris Lytle was commenting. I saw him on Instagram commenting. I saw a lot of other people too. I have a daughter. I have a young daughter. And I can't imagine, even a son, anybody. If I had a child, a friend, if that happened to, I'd be enraged.
so let's back
talk
up
about
and,
what happened.
Yeah, let's
I'm
set the
sorry.
table and let
Please.
people know, for those that aren't aware of what actually occurred. So from the reports that people are putting out now, Cain Velasquez went after a person reportedly caught molesting, or he got out on bail. So this person is accused of molesting his daughter.
Yeah, a bunch of times, it said.
He chased him down in a car, rammed that car, which I believe the stepfather of the accuser was in the vehicle as well. Ran
I
that
think
car.
it was 3 people, yeah.
Was there?
Maybe.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I think it was 3.
So yeah, he's ramming this car. He's chasing him down, and he fires, a couple of shots at the car. Pulls his gun out. Again, this is all alleged. Everyone has to get their day in court. But this is the story that's unfolded. He's now being held on attempted murder plus 10 plus counts. And it's Dana White said it. Everybody talks about doing it, and Cain did it. If something were to happen, if something happened to their children, what would you do if you were in that situation? And my man just went for broke.
He snapped. Yeah, dude. So the thing is, and Lytle said something similar. Everyone's saying the same thing. If it's your kid, you've had those conversations at the bar with your friends. What would you do? I'd kill him.
Yep.
So again, I have children. I know you have a child, and I would like to think that,
Gentlemen,
yes,
I'm sorry to jump in. We're having this issue, and we might just restart the stream real quick.
we're going to restart the stream.
I'm live. They can see me.
Restart the show.
It's I don't know. The audio's off for some reason.
boy.
Let's do
We
the robot.
apologize for the audio issues.
It'll be the same link and everything. It's just
Restart.
Stay where you are.
I don't know where we're at.
How
Stay on
long,
this
Dave?
channel.
Stay where you're at. Call your friends and tell them.
We'll be
Tune
back
in.
in 30 seconds.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
Let the record show it's not my fault.
There it goes.
All right.
And we're back, I think, Evan, right?
The comments are going to let us know. But
Well, I'm here with Riverview Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Adams Andrew. That's our adult film star names. We want to hear yours. We were talking about that earlier. I don't know if that even made the stream.
Orchard Lane James.
Orchard Lane James.
Orchard
I couldn't remember your
Lane
name. I
James.
can't remember your name. That's so great. Starring Orchard Lane James. So let us know yours in the comments.
Yeah,
section.
I'm logged into the
What are they saying?
BKFC channel
Audio
right
is
now.
good,
Looks-
gentlemen.
yeah, we look
Think we're
good.
All right, sweet. We're good to go. So I'm not going to restart the whole show. We're not going to make you sit through that again. But we were talking about some fun stuff. Get involved in the chat, and
Some fun stuff, some serious
and
stuff.
now we're going to get into the serious stuff. We kind of started. I don't know if that made the serious stuff started. Kane, free Kane. We've seen
Free
it. We're
Kane.
talking about it. We're starting to talk about the story to kind of preface it. Rob was putting it out there, but apparently this guy had allegedly molested his daughter, and I read numerous times at daycare. A 43-year-old man who lived with his mother.
Surprise!
Right?
I'm Jack's total lack of surprise.
I mean, I was 42 when I moved out of my
Come
parents'
on,
house.
man.
Come on,
Yeah.
I'm not even 40 yet. But I saw that he lived with his mom in home daycare. That's that, you know. And then I guess he got charged or something, but he let him out, and then he saw him. This is all stuff I was reading. And then he rammed the car and he shot at the car with the guy's father-in-law was in there as well. And I guess he hit the father-in-law by mistake. So that's the issue here.
Yeah.
I mean, is that correct from what you've read? That's what you saw?
That's it.
So it's a hard thing to think about. As I have children, Rob has a child, And as we said, at bars and stuff, or with your friends, this stuff, I would do this, I would do that. And Lytle said it, Chris Lytle, I saw it, a lot of people. Dana White said it. We've all talked about this. And what would you do? I mean, I'd be so enraged.
Yeah.
It was blind rage probably. He didn't think about what he was going to do. He just said, I'm going to go get this guy. This guy did this to my family. And you can't do something to somebody's family.
It reminds me of that movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Matthew McConaughey. He represented him as the attorney. His daughters got raped by I think it was like racist white supremacist. And he waited in the actual courtroom, and they were walking into trial, and he hops out and he shoots them. He shoots both of them, and he accidentally shoots a deputy. It's a wonderful, very, very powerful movie. But I won't... For those who haven't seen it, it's a great movie. Go watch it. But it reminds me of that, like a father's rage, a father's seek for justice. Like what would you do in that situation? Everyone talks about, like you said, I would do this, I would do that, and Cain did do that.
Yeah, he sure did.
Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, you have to protect your children. And sometimes you can't rely on the government. We all know that. Let's be honest. You can't rely on the government at all times. I'm not saying that vigilante justice is the way to go, but we also should be taking a look at a little bit deeper of taking care of the most vulnerable of our population, which is our children, which I don't think we do at all.
No.
You cheat on your taxes, you go away for 25 years. You molest a kid, you're out in 3 years. I mean,
apparently this guy's out now as Cain
that's
sits
what I'm
in
saying.
jail. Yeah, this guy's sitting there.
You get caught cheating on your taxes or doing something that you're hurting the government's pocket, you'll go away longer than if you will molesting a child, which is, I think, absolutely absurd.
Here's the problem with there's numerous problems. Obviously, I'm not trying to be funny at all with this, and this is one time where I'm very serious with the molesting of anybody, child, anybody, even if you're older. It stays with you. So even if it happened once, you can't say, oh, it was only once. Oh, it was 100 times. Once or 100 times, it's bad. This is going to probably, I hope it doesn't. I hope I'm wrong. But it's probably going to mess the kid up a little bit. The kid's going to have to figure things out. But here's the other issue. And I was talking to somebody, might have been somebody here. I don't remember before we went on the air, that now you have a child who is dealing with that. And now you have a father who's going to be probably incarcerated. So there's no dad in the picture to help out and help the child deal with that. And now the child's going to feel guilty almost, I would think, double, because now dad, kids don't understand. So on that aspect, it sucks. I mean, we read it. We're like, they tried to go after the guy. But when you really peel it back, it was blind rage. Do I blame the guy? Not one bit. I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah, let's put ourselves in this scenario real fast. If the person accused of doing that crime is guilty, thank you very much, Cain. And I'll say, congratulations. You did what every father, every mother, every parent, every guardian says that they would do. So big shout out to him. Free Cain if that did occur. If it did not, wow, what a terrible mishap.
But the other thing I'm seeing though, Rob, is people are saying, even though they're supporting him, you're seeing other people saying, well, why are you supporting this guy? He opened fired, and this isn't me, it's other people, because I don't believe this. He opened fired at a vehicle. Again, blind rage. But he hit someone else who was innocent. Who was the father-in-law.
Yes, correct.
So that people, how can you defend Cain? They're saying. I think that people are defending the fact that he went and did what we all said that they were going to do. So I mean,
the actions of somebody that someone innocent did get hurt. From our understanding on our reports, we don't condone that. No. We obviously don't want that to happen, and that's why we're trying to curb vigilante justice. But this is the thing. We have to get to the heart of the matter. The fact that somebody could do that and it's so impactful. Yep. It's not just them. It's their family that's impactful. I don't think as a society we put enough emphasis on our children and what occurs to them and how it affects the entire family and the community.
This is not just going to affect that child. This is going to affect that child's children probably. Correct. This is like, I call it the ripple effect.
Multi-generation,
well, because of one sick bastard. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, I'm not the toughest guy in the world. We've discussed that. But if I had the chance to punch this guy in the mouth, I'd punch him in the mouth. I don't even know Cain. I probably, maybe we could double punch him. I don't know. But let's check some of these screenshots. We were talking about this. Let's go with we talked about Chris Lytle, how to say. He works for us, of course. We love Chris Lytle. And he put a picture up the other day. And basically what Chris said, and Chris is such a good person too. So I believe what he said. And it's such a bad situation. Then you look at,
he just said, I didn't even know what Chris wrote, to be completely honest. And it basically just summarized it. Like the fact that somebody could do what they did, get out on bond, and then Cain Velasquez, he did his action. He did what he did. And now he's going to be
Do you think Kane is a
held
man,
without?
But as a man, we're men here. Kane probably feels like he did what he had to do. Now, I'm not speaking. I don't know the man, but some people, maybe he couldn't get through life. Maybe he'd rather spend some time there and deal with it to get what he was trying to get for justice. Maybe he felt he needed to do that as a father, as a man.
It's a very terrible
slippery
situation.
slope.
Children need their family. Period. That's just a fact. That's statistically proven. That children need they need their parents.
Yeah,
so the fact that now it looks like he could potentially be facing a very long time behind prison, obviously that doesn't help the child cope with what occurred.
I'm interested to see how this happens.
Very, very sad, tragic, situation.
So I wanted to show you the Lytle thing because I knew you didn't see that, and I think he's echoing what all of us think. And then Dana White, of course, was talking about it. Dana said the same thing, pretty much that we all think. So I feel like it's almost 100% on the side of Kane, as well it should be. If that other guy, I'd be blunt, if the other guy wasn't there, I think people would be throwing parties for Kane.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
He's probably lucky this did not occur into a third world country where they pull him out in the street and they rip him to shreds or they stone him to death.
Stone him.
I don't condone that. I do condone a heavier punishment. Maybe child molestation should be met with execution. Maybe it should. Maybe
I would put it on pay-per-view. I'm not kidding you. I'm not. You think I'm kidding? I'd
give it away for free.
Dude, no, I would put it on pay-per-view and give the money to the families and stuff. Like I would have a live stoning on pay. I would have people pay per stone they could throw at the scumbag. Allegedly, if he did this.
Yeah. And I don't want to go really, really deep down this road as to what would occur someone to actually do that. Obviously, you're not right in the head for you to feel that is the thing to do, is to live out their urge of molesting children. How you got to that point, we need to address that though. You want to address that simultaneously, and also meet the severity with appropriate punishment, which should be execution level.
Stoning on pay-per-view. And I'm
so
not joking.
if you try to commit treason against the U.S. government, that's met with death, right?
What about the
or if you kill someone,
the guy with the horns or whatever, he went to jail for a while. He's still in jail. The guy, the famous picture from the January 6th.
Oh yeah,
he's in jail for a long time, I think, isn't he?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure on that, but yes, when you look at such articles as treason, as murder, that's usually met with that. Throw that in. Why not? So senators, governors, whoever that makes the decisions out there, that writes the laws, please put into law, and I will sign, you got my approval right here on air, that if you say, you know what, we will meet child molestation with as much severity as attempted murder, treason, the highest level of crimes should be child molestation. It should be in the highest level of crimes, period.
That's it.
That's my opinion on it.
I'm just going to echo everything you said. It should be the highest level of crimes. And I kind of get, if anybody ever was molested out there, I feel very bad for you. And I hope that you're not carrying that with you. I just think it's a terrible, terrible thing. And I think it should be met with very swift justice. I agree 100% with you, Rob. Let's get off this because it kind of pisses me off.
It's a very hot topic. And I think this is why
I'm trying to stay professional with this, but it's hard.
It's difficult. It's very difficult because people that have children like you and I, it's impossible to be removed from the situation and not get angry and not get emotional.
I want to say one more thing. I know we have some police officers that watch the show, and they don't have to comment. I just want to say this. If I was a police officer, I know innocent until proven guilty, but if I knew that happened, if I had an idea, it'd be very hard for me to treat that person with any respect. It'd be very hard for me. And
my heart goes out to those people. You have teachers that hear about it. You have counselors that hear about, police officers, first responders that have to hear the fact that they're able to do this day in and day out. I mean, I seriously applaud them. Yes, he's a much bigger person than I am to be able to deal with that. I don't think I could. I couldn't. I would just be an emotional wreck every night. And
I would too.
You have to be a higher being to be able to do that. So thank you guys for that.
Clenching my fist here. I'm so angry. I'm trying to be professional. I feel
and I'm not trying to transition out to a lighter topic because
let's talk about professionalism. Right. So you may have seen it on social media. We were called out by one of our fighters, and this is something that's on the format of the show here that I think is important that we talk about. We were called out by one of our fighters, not once but twice. Mike Richmond, who I deep respect for. I think he's an awesome fighter. I think he's got trajectory in the company to become one of the biggest fighters we have here, if not the biggest. You're looking at what he had said. Now, you can read that for yourself, unless you want to read it to him, Rob. I mean,
pretty annoying when the company you work for doesn't even know your correct record. I haven't lost in a bare knuckle. I am 3-0, one no contest. The no contest was from a headbutt. I think he's saying headbutt. That wasn't even a headbutt. Do better, BKFC. Shit's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, so you wake up to that as one of the employees here that works very hard to spotlight all the fighters.
I think we sent a pretty late night, right?
Yeah, I saw it in the morning, and I know that's when it got discussed, and I know other people had seen it too. I don't know when you saw it, but I saw that, and then he put a second one up after that. I guess to rub more salt in the
Really?
wounds.
There's two. I heard about the first.
He was showing this one. He was showing his record. I get what he was doing. He was showing his record on.
Oh wow, he goes in again.
Yeah. So
if you didn't hear me the first time, number 2, let me help you out. Since you don't know shit about one of your top fights record, doesn't even know what a no contest is, the level of disrespect you constantly show is ridiculous. Constantly.
So here's the thing. I mean, you can talk on this too. Again, I'm a fan of Mike Richmond. I think he's a great fighter.
Absolutely.
I get excited. I can't wait to see him versus Caveman. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be an amazing fight.
I've spoken personally with Mike Richmond a couple different times. I always enjoy being around him. I respect what he's done for our country. I got a lot of respect for him. But I feel like, I don't want to speak for everybody in the office and stuff, but when you see something like that, and I don't know if the fighters understand this, I think most of them do. Behind the scenes, we work very, very hard to spotlight these fighters. And I have nothing to do with the web. I don't believe you do either.
No.
We have people doing the web that are doing their best. And if there's a problem like that, these people aren't always fight fans. These people might hit a wrong number. And we don't want to mess your record up. That's horrible. You're 100% correct. We don't want to disrespect you by messing your record up. But I think what I would have done, because I know if I would have talked out against Bare Knuckle Fight, they would have fired me. They would have said, get out, you're gone. My old radio job, if I would have gone there, and believe me, I had a lot of bad stuff to say about that at the end. It was really bad. But I kept my mouth shut, and I would address that to management. So I was confused why we didn't receive a text or a phone call saying, hey guys, a little mess up on the website. Your record's wrong. Could you please change that? Because here's the thing. We're all kind of building this together. We rely on the fighters to have great fights, right? And he does. Mike Richmond has amazing fights. And they rely on us to do the promotion and keep the wheels turning behind the scenes, our team. So as a team, we're like this. We're like a family, right? If my wife did something, I wouldn't run to my neighbor and say, my wife's an idiot. You know, she constantly shows me disrespect. I'd take that up with her. Same with the radio station. When they were doing stuff, I'd take it up with them. So that was my only confusion. I like Mike as a guy. I like him as a fighter. I have no problem with it. But I was just a little confused by that. And I know you had.
So you think the personal jab was personal?
I don't think I don't think it was personal. I think that we should have had Mike on today. I don't even know. I don't know if he meant to be like that way. I think he was probably a little offended. And I get that. This is a fighter. It's his living. This is his brand. So he was offended probably that we didn't know. The thing is, we have a ton of fighters. And Mike is one of the top guys right now. But we have a ton of fighters. And like I said, our web team, I'm not throwing shade on them or whatever, but there's people that don't necessarily know fighting and they're inputting stuff from other sites and they might have gotten it wrong. So just let us know. We'll fix it in a second.
Absolutely. And this is not an excuse and this is not in anything. It's just a PSA, if you will, that we obviously moved to a different website. So we're transitioning everyone's records over. Everything is getting transitioned over. It's going to be inevitable that things that are going to occur that weren't supposed to. There's going to be mistakes. Now, it's how you deliver the message. It's not necessarily what you say, but it's your delivery. You know, I think the delivery could have been a lot better, but maybe, not to play devil's advocate, maybe there was something more going on that, you know what I mean? Obviously, he saw it at 2 o'clock in the morning and he sent a text message or a tweet at 2 o'clock in the morning and then repeated it. So obviously there was something that bugged him severely that, you know, made him make that decision.
No, I
so
agree.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's something deeper to this.
Well, I mean, it looks like, so his real record, he's 3-0, and he's 3-0-1. He had a no contest, so it was a clerical error. They put, instead of 3-0-1, they put 3-1-0. So it's not like we're all sitting around a dark room plotting on
deliberately.
We're all on the same team.
How can I make him look like a?
So it's just one of the website people just put it in the wrong place.
And you got to think too. If
it happens, but we're all we love Mike.
We do.
Sorry it happened.
We love you, Mike.
There was no ill intent behind it.
You know how monotonous that must be. I'm glad I don't have to do that, Evan. Rob. They sit there and they have all these fighters and they're putting in records 1 and 2 and so after a while they might make a mistake. Again, just let us know. We'll correct it. And
I think for the record, I don't think there is anybody in our organization that's trying to ill intent anyone. There's no deliberate group of masterminds are like, oh, this fighter's too good, let's make them look worse.
Evil petting their cat.
Or let's do this deliberately to make them look incompetent or insult them.
One step further. Not only that, but if we were doing that deliberately, it'd be the dumbest thing ever because as we respect you as a fighter, Mike, we respect you as a person as well, and as an investment in the company. So if we invest our time in you and we promote you, you know, like we've been doing, or give you the great fights, like the caveman fight's going to be great, then why would we shoot ourselves in the foot? That's going to make our own business fail. So again, no ill intent. We love you, Mike. We're excited to have you here, and you know, we're sorry about the record thing. We really are.
I'm going to close out on this though.
Please.
Again, I might sound, you know, that I'm playing both sides of the fence. We live in America. He has the freedom to speak,
True.
Whether he likes it or dislikes it. He exercised that right to speak his mind, and I respect him for that. Again, what he said, delivery could have been a little bit different, but he can speak his mind, and that's why I love this country. And it's tough, man.
You're right.
It's tough, but I personally don't think that it was, you know, justified.
You wouldn't have
that's
done it
my
that way.
opinion.
You wouldn't
Again,
have done it that way.
we live in an amazing country where I can actually say this is my opinion. He voiced his opinion. You voiced yours.
It's a man who fought for our country, so he can do whatever the hell he
exactly.
wants. The other thing is, as far as voicing your opinion, I'll piggyback off your respect to him. While I wish it would have been delivered differently, the respect that we give him is because, you know, doing something like that, if he thought about it, there's a risk. He could have lost his gig. He could have lost his job.
Sure.
So if you are that strong of a believer in your brand and yourself to get upset and decide to take that risk. Because I mean, look, I'm not being arrogant. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in the bare knuckle world is the biggest thing going, and we see it. It's rising. Yeah, I am. You know, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's
a little modest. Number one.
Look what's going on. And I'm so proud to be a part of it. I know Mike is as well. So for him to do that and think, oh, I could lose my gig over this, but I'm standing up for myself. I respect that. I just, like I said, I'm with you. I'm not Mike, but I would have done it a little differently. And Mike,
well, Mike, if you're listening, maybe we can get you on the show. If you're willing to go on the show, kind of give your side of the story. I'd love to hear it, and we can talk about, you know, was it right, was it wrong, where are you coming from with that?
We need to know what he thinks.
Yeah, let's get it. You know, hear from the horse's mouth, as they say.
You calling him a horse now?
Come on, man.
That was Rob, bro. That was Rob, not me.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, Mike. Get security.
I'm barely a lover or a fighter.
No, I'd love to get him on the show and really get his side of the story.
Yeah, it would be good. So let's move on from that and talk about what I got excited about. I saw on TMZ Sports. Again, you're seeing more. Yeah, right. You're seeing more mainstream coverage for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and I saw this on some MMA sites. I saw it on some bare knuckle stuff. Thiago Alves talking about Mike Perry and the sport, saying that he'd like to fight Mike Perry.
How would you not?
I know.
So
it's a big money fight.
Yeah. Alves went the distance with Lane. Perry went the distance with Lane. Now that is going to be if they fight, that would be a grueling fight. And I know we probably have this in the notes, and I don't want to hop ahead, but hey, that's the same weight class as Mike Richmond and Dave Rickles.
Yep. And
can I drop it? That fight is a title eliminator. That's going to be a #1 contender spot.
Why are you asking me if you can drop it? They don't tell me anything, dude. You're going to be the one to get in trouble.
#1 contender, Dave Rickles versus Mike Richmond. The winner of that will be ranked #1 for a shot at the title.
Wow, dude.
Hey.
I know I said it, but that fight is going to be insane.
So that puts a lot of pressure on both of them. And this super fight that we're talking about, that Alves is trying to champion for TMZ. But
it's a fight that I want to see, quite frankly.
I do.
But here's the thing. You have other people arguing that Mike Perry hasn't done enough. He needs him to get more wins first, then he can have Thiago. And I think I said last week to Evan, I know people worry about records, and I probably got panned for this. Sometimes I just look at a great fight matchup, and I'm like, I just want to see the fight. But when it comes to a title, I feel like you have to have a little better record, and Evan kind of corrected me on that last week, and I thank him for that, because as much I get excited about the prospect of a great fight.
Sure.
So I don't know when that'll happen. I think it's pretty cool that TMZ was talking about it.
Is he deserving? All right.
Perry?
Well, I won't ask you that question. I would love to hear it from the fans. Is Mike Perry deserving of a title shot if that were to be booked? Now, I'm kind of on the fence on that, and I'll tell you why. You said it best. He had one real fight in BKFC. Yeah, but he fought Julian Lane,
who's a tough any fight he's in.
One of the toughest SOB, one of the best fighters on.
Oh yeah,
just all around. You're
always going to get a banger with Julian Lane.
And he got the W on top of him. And Mike even admitted, I need to train my hands more. I know this sport now. I know what I need to improve upon. Excuse me. So it's interesting to see what fight to make with Mike Perry next. And if we're going to wait, if the Alves...
I'm going to watch any Mike Perry fight. I'll watch any Julian Lane fight. I'll give him shine too, like I said last week.
Julian Lane and Dave Rickles was a war.
That's the thing about Julian Lane, dude. Julian Lane, I said this last week. I don't care what his record is. It's always a good fight.
I'm probably going to get fired for saying this.
Oh, jeez.
Put Julian Lane over Ukraine and we'll end it right now. That dude is a one-man war. He'll end that whole conflict right now.
Julian Lane,
he's an army in and of itself. He's awesome.
Man. He really is. Yeah. And you know, now again, we head to Mike Richmond versus Dave Rickles. And like you said, is the winner of that going to get Thiago? And when are we going to see Mike Perry?
Well, hey, it's a title eliminator. So we know that now.
So we're going to wait and see with that. But I was excited. If Thiago says he wants it, that's cool. We'll wait and see what happens. You talking about Ukraine, some of the Ukrainian fighters. So there's real fighters over there.
Yeah, man, this is a serious. This is a little bit of a more of a serious.
Yeah, this is the most serious podcast we've ever done. I'm not used to this.
Yeah, I mean we're living in an unprecedented time right now. Some very serious things going on overseas, and a lot of people are heeding the call. The mayor of Kyiv, if I'm saying that right, I do apologize if I'm not saying that right. Klitschko is the mayor, and he doesn't have to be there.
No,
right?
He's got probably millions of dollars. He can
millions of dollars in the bank. He could be anywhere in the world, and he's on the front lines.
It's pretty cool.
You know, Lomachenko is there.
I know.
There's multiple professional fighters that are hearing the call, heeding the call, and they're joining Ukraine, and that's tough, man. That is very, very tough. You're basically saying, almost certainly that you know I'm going into war
to die.
If it does, you know, and it's progressing. It's a very, very, very sad situation. What's going on over there right now?
They're standing up though, man, and that's like I said, that's inspiring. Matter of fact, you're seeing a lot of people standing up now. You're seeing people in our country standing up for things. I think in the road behind us here, we're going to have that American trucker convoys going by us. Like they're headed to Washington. They're standing up for what they believe in. So that's inspiring. Whether you believe it or whether you agree or not, it's inspiring. Same with the guys that are staying back to fight in Ukraine. It's inspiring that these men could be out of there. They have millions of dollars. They have professional fighting careers, and they're saying, "You know what? Country, and we're gonna keep this. You know, we're gonna do our best to stay here." To me, it's very inspiring. Is it something I would do? I'm not gonna comment because I don't know. I'd like to think I would, but again, till I'm in that situation, you don't know. But I used to love watching the Glitchko brothers. I think they're both staying there, right?
Yes,
the brothers. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, and they're not. These are the top world class, multi-million dollars.
It's not some tomato can.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. I'd still have respect for them staying, but I'm saying they're
and
real.
everyone. I respect everybody that you know that's there, that's fighting that war, and it's a very tough situation. And I wish the conflict would end right now. To be honest, and there's conflict around the world that's unnecessary. That you know, again, we're opening up a very big can of worms.
The only conflict, though, Rob, that honestly that I love is, and I'm not trying to be funny, is bare knuckle fighting.
Exactly.
Like if we could just settle the world's problems in bare knuckle fights.
That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do.
Who we did? We'd be like Putin versus
like Troy in the beginning of Troy, where they had Ulysses fight.
Straight up.
You know, here, bring your best to the front line. I will bring my best, and we'll settle it. Instead of getting everyone to die and bring everyone into the war, you bring your best, I'll bring our best, and we'll settle it there. So. Did
you see all these people that are pouring out the vodka because it's made in Russia?
And mostly
which is made in America, and they don't realize it. And the other thing they don't realize, and I get what they're doing, it's cool. I mean, they're trying to support it.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is they already bought that, and it's kind of like in their stockpile, and that's not really going to affect Russia, even if it was Russian.
Yeah, and from my understanding, the 1% doesn't represent the 99%. When I say that is there's 99% of the Russians. And I think 99% of the world doesn't want war. They want conflict. People just want to live peacefully. So I don't want it to turn into this anti-Russian per se, message, because it's not. I think everybody wants peace. Ukraine wants peace. America wants peace. Every country just wants peace. And just want to live peaceful. So I think we should do a little.
Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse, just be cool.
Just be cool.
Because now he said the cooler. Be the cooler.
Yeah, just be cool.
And that's honestly, it's funny to say that, but it's true. Like if everyone could just be cool and be nice. Be there.
Yeah.
We should probably move on to talk about BKFC New York. That's coming up March 12th, BKFC.com. You can grab the app. It's going to be an amazing show. I'm looking forward to it. New York, last time we were there, what a hot crowd.
Sold out crowd, man.
Dude, and it's on pace to do that again.
Yep.
Very excited about it because when you work in a space like that, fighters will tell you this probably too, the ones that hear it, it's intense. The crowd's on top of you. They were a hot crowd. They're ready to have a good time. They're loud New Yorkers. I love that. They come from Buffalo. They come from everywhere. So last time I was walking through the casino afterwards, I must have got stopped like 15 times. People have never seen the product before, and they're blown away by it.
That's great.
So I'm hoping that happens again. And what I always say, Rob, is regardless of the main events, of the co-main, of the featured fights, regardless of any fight on the card, I've said this time and time again, and I'd like to see if the chat agrees. I think they would. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is different than ordering a boxing match on pay-per-view, like a big fight or even a big UFC fight. Because a lot of times I see, unless you're like a hardcore fan of the sport, you're kind of hanging with your buddies, you're having a couple beers, you're having some pizza or whatever you're doing, you're chatting, and you're kind of half paying attention. Sometimes you're not paying attention at all. You're shooting pool or something while you're waiting for the main event. That's on the background. BKFC, even if you don't know somebody, everything matters. Everything matters.
Exactly. Everything is an exciting bout. You know, you'll have the one or two that's like, we could have done better. As Mike Richmond says, we could have done better.
Do better.
Yeah. The whole shot, the majority of the events, the majority of the fights, actually all the events, majority of the fights are phenomenal. And you'll never know. You're like, oh, man, it's over. My man is gone. Bang, puncher's chance, dude, knockout. Just come from behind. That's awesome.
Let me give you an example of this. So we have we saw him before. It was a quick loss to Chris Jensen. I forget the show it was on. It was in Tampa, I believe. Kyle McElroy, right? So Kyle is a guy that he's dropped a lot of weight. I've seen him. I think he went trained with different fighters and stuff like that. And Kyle seems like he's ready to go. Now you have Zach Calamus, who is an absolute lunatic. I say that with respect. Like he's
awesome.
That's why I love him. That guy's
energy on top of energy, dude.
So this fight, both guys have energy, and you're seeing a lot of trash talking online. And I don't know if anybody follows, excuse me, Kyle. I wish I could remember what his Instagram handle was. It's like Irish Kyle or something. Look him up.
Irishman Kyle.
Thank you, Irishman Kyle. Follow him, because this guy constantly puts out content, and he's constantly building fights, and he just seems like he loves the sport, but he doesn't get as many views as he should. So make sure you follow him, and you can follow Zach too, and see what they're going to say to each other, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a barn burner. I don't know how long it's going to go, but these guys are going to battle, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I love a good battle. Even if it's a round, they're just going to battle.
Yeah. I mean, Zach's fight was probably my top 5.
He's got so much heart.
Yeah. Exchange, you know, his technique, he needs to work on his technique.
Yeah, but I just like his wildness.
You'll never have to work on his heart, his determination. Never. You can't train that. No. You no matter how long you train, no matter how long you practice, the amount of energy, heart, determination, and love that man has, you cannot duplicate that. I don't care who you train with, you just can't. You either have it or you don't have it. My man has it, and technique, you can learn that. Yeah, and he's going to be a force. He's going to be a force to reckon with.
And they're both working hard. And the other thing you either have or you don't have is a BKFC tattoo across your knuckles. And I can tell you, I don't have it. Do you have it? No, but Zach does. Zach does. And the other thing I always find interesting is Zach is so respectful and happy to be here. And as is Kyle. I mean, these guys are so respectful to everybody outside the ring, but they've been going at it. So I'm excited. That's an undercard fight I'm really looking forward to see what happens. And they're young with the company, so it's even better to see. Yep. It's great.
Yep.
Breaking news.
Breaking news from the control room. Nate Shook.
Nate Shook walks in.
Nate, come here.
Nate Shook, give him the mic. Get him on. Hey, Nate, how are you, bud?
There you go, Nate.
Can Nate hear me? Hi, Nate.
Yeah, I can hear you through the wall.
That's our soundproof studio. You're not supposed to tell people that, Nate.
So, just found out that Johnny Bedford will be out next week.
Whoa.
That's the main event?
The main event? He's out?
The main event is out.
Is he okay, or is it just what happened? Johnny's not a guy that'll quit.
More to come on it. No, it's injury related. I don't have all the details yet. But we just hope the best for him, that he heals quickly and come on back. But Anthony Reddick agreed to step on in on short notice.
Anthony Reddick's popping in?
To fight Jared, and it'll be for the interim 135-pound championship.
Well, Nate, I got to tell you, to deal with it. First of all, before we say anything, Johnny, if you're watching, I don't know what's going on, but we hope you're all right. We love watching you fight.
Something serious must have happened, because that's not
tough.
Yeah, he fights with injuries. You know, he's a warrior. So. Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't wait to find out more about that, but I'm going to reach out to him after the show. Johnny's a good dude. I hope he's okay. But Nate, I can't imagine being a matchmaker and having stuff like that happen and have to find somebody else quickly to put in there. Was that a hard thing for you to do? I mean, were there people chomping at the bit? How did that work for you?
Yeah, it was actually a little bit more difficult than you would think. New York is a a tough area for medicals wise, and not a lot of people want to step up and fight Grant on a short notice, but Reddick's undefeated, 2-0, but Jared's undefeated. So,
but Grant's not a guy. Even Grant's an amazing fighter, Kid Gotti, Jared Grant. So he's even a guy that some people might not take on a full camp's notice because he's pretty good.
Yeah. What was Grant's response to that? So I'm sure he was prepping very, very hard for Bedford.
Crazy.
This was his chance at the title. Now he's got to sort of take a linear step for the interim. What was his feedback on it?
I'll tell you what. Talking to his manager, they said anyone. They'll take anyone that'll step on up.
He just wants to fight. I respect that. I respect that. That doesn't shock me. You got Ryan Perez in there, man. I think he's a coach. I don't know if he's the manager, but you have Jared. We've seen Jared. Jared, I think I always say, is the second youngest guy that we've ever had here. And from the get-go, I've liked watching Jared fight, I should say, because he fights like a boxer. He's got this beautiful way about him. And I always think it's funny too. By the way, this is an aside.
For his age, he fights like a 45-year-old super intelligent fighter. He is very
he's got
his
the mad
IQ.
scientist with him.
Yeah,
he's got Ryan Perez. That's who's got
Nate's
him.
out.
Thank you, Nate.
Wait,
Thank you,
did Nate say, is this for an interim belt or what are we doing?
interim.
With the belt?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yep,
The
it's
interim
for the
belt.
interim.
Oh,
Okay.
it's for okay.
Yep.
Well, hey, look.
Big step up for Anthony Reddick.
Congratulations to Anthony Reddick for getting the fight. I mean, if one guy's got to fall, at least someone else can get some shine off of it. And we know Johnny will be back. But what I was saying, this is very small. It has nothing to do with fighting. But what always entertains me at the end of one of Jared Grant's fights that I've seen, before he comes on camera, if he's going to get interviewed, they have a little comb. They comb his hair down so he looks good. Hollywood him up a little bit. But he's an amazing fighter.
Yes.
We've talked about Slaughterhouse time and time again. They just had Fames come out of there. I forget who else is all there, but I do know that Jared Grant's been there. And I remember talking to Ryan Perez the first time I met Jared before I did. And he said, this kid, I knew he would excel in bare knuckle. And he goes, and I started, when I saw it on pay-per-view, I knew it. I knew it was Lane Freeman. And obviously he's right, because I'll tell you, a lot of times Ryan will tell me what is going to happen, their plan, when he gets to the arena. And it's like, I watch it unfold. I mean, so I'm excited to see what Anthony's going to do with Jared and what Jared's going to do with Anthony. And
Jared looked very, very deadly. His last fight against the Animal, I mean, that was...
The Animal's not an easy fight.
Not at all. Not at all.
Travis Tubbs is a tough dude.
He is. He's about as tough as they come. And Jared Grant just poured it on. Each round, he just got better and better. And like I said, he didn't... It's not necessarily like the punches he throws, right? So obviously it's very important.
That's how he moves.
It's the movement.
Yeah.
It's the damage he does not take.
Yep.
So he is very, very,
Smart
very
fighter.
Intelligent. Absolutely.
I mean, I know...
Looking forward to that.
I mean, there's a reason he has the name Kid Gotti. Come on.
Yep.
So that's kind of reminiscent of that. But we're excited. I mean, if we had to lose that fight again, very sorry to hear about Johnny Bedford again. Johnny, if you're watching this, we hope you're okay, and we'll be reaching out to you. But what are you gonna? It's the fight game. We got to keep moving, and if we can't, I'm glad I'm not Nate Shook to have to rematch all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a great fight. So from there, what other fights do we have on the card? I know that we have Jim Allers, right? Jim Allers taking on Connor Tierney from the UK. I was actually just on a show that we do called Sports Grid with Jim Allers. He was being interviewed about the fight.
Making his comeback, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, he said he didn't know if he was going to come back to bare knuckle, and then he chose to, but he's excited to be here. And
he stays active, right? He does other things in between.
All kinds of stuff. That guy's always
like
active.
jiu-jitsu and grappling and other...
I think he has the best thing. Every time he fights, that guy has the coolest T-shirts for sale. He always has really cool T-shirts when he comes up with like some really cool concept design. Jim's a great guy to be with, the bare knuckle beast. Excited to see him back, and I'm excited to see Connor Tierney, man, from the UK, coming from across the pond.
The anticipation, man.
I have some dramas to throw in there if you'd like.
I'd love it, but I just want to say, look up the James Kennelly knockout with Connor Tierney. It's a great knockout. Go ahead. What's up, Ev? You there? Your mic's not on, bro.
Sorry, people are talking in my ear.
We got a full house.
So the Police Gazette belt is not on the line in this Jared Grant fight.
Your mic's off again.
Really? You can't hear me?
No, I heard you.
No, I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, so the Police Gazette's not on the line during the
yet.
Why not?
I don't know.
You're bringing it to the table. You don't have any guy. You don't have any.
I don't know. I thought you guys would have known about this. I'm just reminding you.
Does anybody in the comments note that why the Police Gazette belt?
Yeah, they don't want to put it on the line. I don't know why.
Was it for the Jared Grant fight?
For Jared Grant, yeah.
Were they going to put it on the line for the Johnny Bedford fight originally? Do you know?
No, I don't think.
Either way?
Even originally it was going to be on the line. Even though Johnny has the belt, it wasn't going to be.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Because they had some drama back with the other belt
that was floating around.
So There's a little talking point for you guys.
What do you think about that, Rob? I mean, is that a personal
zoom
grudge?
in on your shirt. That's what I look at, man. If it says BKFC and that's the belt, I focus on that.
I agree.
And that's it for now. Until then, everything else to me is just like, it is what it is.
I agree. I feel like
it's not me taking a shot at anybody.
No.
But when I look at the world champion in ungloved boxing, I understand what they do overseas. I understand what they do down south. I understand what they do over in Russia and various countries. I'm sorry, it all pales in comparison to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship with the best fighters.
Ain't no celebration.
That's right. The belt that I look at, the championship belt in whatever weight division, if it says Bare Knuckle Fighting Champion and you hold that belt, you're a champion in that division in the world.
Yeah.
If you think you're better than that fighter, prove it. Get into the ring, fight them for that, because the best fighters in the world in bare knuckle fighting are here.
I agree.
In this organization.
I agree 100%. And with all due respect to Police Gazette, respect to the history, to Scott's Hall of Fame. Which,
I'm not throwing shade at him.
No,
I'm not throwing shade at any organization in the world. But I hope collectively we can get all of the fighters, and it's going to take time and different belts, different divisions. Let's collectively, however that works out. But as it stands right now, when I say who's the champion, I look at those four letters and then I make my decision off of that.
The world champion of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, they are the best bare knuckle fighters in the world. And if you feel like you're the best bare knuckle fighter in the world, get a hold of Nate Shook, come to a tryout, and challenge for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship title. Again, Police Gazette title, I get what they did. I get the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame's awesome. Much respect to them for carrying the torch of bare knuckle. We need people like them. But it's the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and that belt's here. So if it's not on the line, it doesn't cheapen it to me at all. I'm with you. Like, it's just because the Police Gazette, it's just interesting that it's not. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'd like to get some more info onto why that has changed or what the difference is with that and why that occurred. But yeah.
Oh, well, I guess Evan's the guy that's getting all the scoops.
Yeah,
Maybe, hey, I'm going to throw this. Is we always talk about how we're transparent in the comments. Does anybody know why it's not on the line? Does anybody? If you can let us know, we'd love to know that.
That's the word on the street.
Oh, wow.
I've been listening around all the other
Evan's guy's ear to the wall.
Yeah, he's guy's ear to the wall.
I need some of the super fans in the. I bet Big Ben would know.
Yeah, Big Ben.
He's in there. Big Ben, let us know.
What's up, Big Ben?
Yeah. We'll find out shortly. I'll come back in with that.
So I'm excited about that, about New York, not only because it's bare knuckle fighting coming to New York for the second time. It's close. It's as close to home as we get. I mean, we're making the 7-hour drive.
Yep.
I got my Sirius satellite ready. I'll be listening to BKFC show podcast
excited.
the whole way. Yeah. But it's as close as we get to home, so we kind of hang our hat on it. It's a home kind of show. Is there any other announcement? Anyone else going to be there filming? Is it going to, that kind of thing? Like, I know there's been documentaries that are being filmed. We're seeing all this stuff that's building with bare knuckle. So what the fans don't know, what the fans don't know, Rob, is that you're watching the product Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, but we're seeing as we go to these events, all these fringe people, like there's a documentary or something being filmed. There's a news story being filmed. There's something for this being, so we're seeing all these really big professional outlets come in and want to cover us now, and everywhere we look, there's some kind of camera or someone asking you a question about the company. And it's not like, and we love our podcast, but it's not like a podcast thing. These are professional, like big time outlets that are trying to do stories on us, which we love.
Yeah, there was a company out in Europe, and I don't know their name, and I do apologize because they put together a wonderful documentary on Tyler Goodjohn and his road overseas. And apparently, he just leaked that Vice. They're doing a documentary on him now.
Is he coming back here? I think I saw him write comments that he's coming back here. Do you know about this?
He sold his life in Europe, and he's in Miami. He's living in Miami. He's training.
Luis, Baboon. And that's who better to train with than Baboon, man. So now two guys, was it good friends, better enemies?
Yeah.
It was great enemies, better friends now.
Apollo Creed, like. Rocky
That's
Balboa.
what it is. That's the story, dude. So he's out there hanging. I think he was living on a yacht. They put him up on a yacht. The company, I don't remember the name, that sponsors Luis. So to be with Luis, that's the place you want to be. He'll probably be training, I guess, at the Fifth Street Gym. And we've talked about how they're creating every gym. We're saying that they're popping up more of a bare knuckle, like contingent. So it's going to be cool to see, like, it's going to be in 3 years, 2-3 years, you're going to see, like, all right, Fifth Street Gym guy taking on Shift MMA guy or a Slaughterhouse guy.
Yeah, as you said, you never know.
Kevin Smith guy.
These high-end production places like Vice TV, and I want to say that they are up for the company in Europe that did the documentary on Tyler Goodjohn. They were up for like some big Cannes award or something like that for this documentary, which is phenomenal. So you never know who's going to approach you, listen to your story. And it might turn into a movie.
And you know what it does, man? It makes the company and the product even bigger. It makes bare knuckle. It helps bare knuckle fighting, which we love. I think Evan was just in my ear.
Big Ben is weighed in.
Big Ben's weighed in.
All right.
Our man on the street, Big Ben 316. His comment: Howie says he doesn't deserve. So Howie is
Howie's one of the guys
an ambassador of the
Howie.
Police Gazette. Yeah.
Okay.
Howie says he doesn't deserve it because he never fought anyone with a winning record, and also Ryan using water to look like he peed on the medal.
So hold on. He's talking about Jared Grant.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
because Johnny has the Police Gazette diamond belt.
So I'm so confused by this.
So when they were even though that fight's off,
so there's some drama between them and Ryan Perez.
Put that belt on the line.
Yeah, but here's my question. What I don't understand is, and I want to understand this, is that if they had heat with Jared, business is business, and I kind of understand what they're saying.
It doesn't sound like there was quote unquote heat with Jared. But Jared's camp, it seems
regardless,
more specific.
So thank you, Jared's camp. But business is business. But I also understand why they don't want somebody tarnishing their legacy. However, the way I think about this, if I was Johnny Bedford or Anthony Reddick now, what about my shot at winning?
Exactly.
So why should they be punished? I don't know. I don't. Maybe someone understands more than me. But it's out of my pay grade. I don't get that.
No,
I don't understand it.
I agree 100%. If Johnny Bedford would have won, now you're shortchanging him based off of half of the argument.
But as
or half
we said, are you really shortchanging? Because we just said that BKFC is what we look at because we work here and we know that we're the global organization now that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
So if you're a champion of BKFC, you're the biggest champion in the world.
But you know, right? And that's what I said. But even to get recognized, even if you're recognized as the champion for Police Gazette and recognized from this other organization, means a lot.
Those fighters seem to take the medals very seriously, as they should. So that's why I'm confused about, like I said, Johnny Bedford and Anthony Reddick. If they did win that fight, would they not be presented with it? Would it be something online they would say? Are they not going to be at the event? I don't even know. Do you?
Good question.
Evan, do you know if they're going to be at the event?
They're still presenting medals, right? I mean, we're 45 minutes away from
I would
them.
think.
I know, you're about as close as you possibly get to
I didn't even think of that yet, Belfast. So I didn't even think of that. So they're are they shooting themselves in the foot by not making a big pomp and circumstance of the title?
Well, hopefully they can work out whatever differences
think about
they have.
The whole thing? I mean, even as far, it's almost like boxing now where there's all these different belts and stuff. Do you guys think we should keep the BKFC belt as the most important thing?
It is the most important.
It is.
To me.
And that was kind of my...
The fighters like getting the medals because it's
heritage.
It's the historical part of it. Yeah, you're officially in the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Well, yeah, my opinion might upset a lot of people, but this is my opinion. I think the winner should get a medal, and the person who does not win is called the loser.
Participation,
you don't get it. That's not to say that you do not respect both fighters. You not respect what they put in the time, put in the energy, and literally putting their life on the line for.
So is that medal?
There's no lack of respect for that. I just don't think, in my opinion, that everyone deserves a medal. Everyone deserves a participation trophy.
But what is that quote participation trophy? What is that for? Is that saying, oh my gosh, you just fought a great fight, you didn't win, so that's a participation, right? But are they just showing respect for both fighters? Is that why they both get medals?
I don't know.
We should. This is
I
something
have
that's
no
interesting
idea.
to me.
I have no idea.
I mean, I talk to Scott. I'm going to ask him when I see him.
Yeah.
I talk to Scott and Howie all the time, so I'm going to ask some questions.
And if Scott wants to get on, he wants to say, "This is why you guys are stupid, Rob. You know what the hell you're talking about? We give these medals because of this. Awesome. If you want the opportunity to come in and talk more about the organization." I'd love to have him on. I'd love to hear his side. I'd love to hear, I guess there's some...
Is this going on social media where you saw stuff?
Somebody in the comments says, not a minute spent on any of the women on the card.
Oh, no, we'll talk about that. We're not done the show yet.
I know.
We talked on one fight. Sure. Again, we respect your opinion.
No, we we'll talk about the women. We will, but we kind of got sidetracked because I didn't. With this, we had breaking. Think about this. We had breaking news on the card. Then we had Evan give us the word on the street over there.
So to Queen Boudica Radiant.
Queen Boudica. What
She's very concerned we're not talking about the women. We will get there. You stick around. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Boudica Radiant. Maybe that's her adult film star name.
Yeah, I want. Listen,
boy.
man, I would love to. I've never seen any professional organization host an event that was 50-50, 50% female fights, 50% male fights. I love to see that. But
cool.
you know, and people are like, well, it should be done, right? It's challenging to have an equal amount of fights because you don't have the equal amount of staff. Yeah. Correct. You don't have, 200 female fighters on roster. You might have 50 fighters or 25.
That's growing,
versus
though.
300, 400. It is. The growth is crazy.
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years, like when I came to BKFC 1, the first female fight, I'm like, I honestly do. I thought it was just going to be like a filler fight. And I was like, this is fight of the night. Yeah. I said, this is amazing. These women are, wow.
They fight.
Wow.
I mean, everyone fights with passion. They all fight. Every fighter fights with passion. But I've said this before, and I think Paige said it when I would do that serious show with her. It's a different type of passion. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just a different type of passion that women fight with. And I kind of see what she means by that. And I'm pretty excited coming up with New York here. Now we got one female fight. Like you said, we'd love to have more, but it's hard. Nate could speak more on that. It's probably not as easy to find the female fighters like that. And
not only is it hard, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Please, go.
Who does Christine fight next? Like, who does she fight?
We talked about this a little bit last week.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, the only possible choices in my mind is, I'm not sure if Beck Rawlings is coming back, if that's even a thing. If Beck is coming back, that would be a fight.
Yeah.
She fought Helen, and that was fight of the year, if not one of the best fights
ever.
Period.
Yeah, I agree.
What a war! I would love to see that again.
Yeah.
I want to see Rachel Ostovich is a name you got to throw in there.
Didn't we do a poll on this last week?
She's got some power. So, but the challenge is you have someone that's so dominant. She's such a dominant champion. I mean, she made Britain Hart. It looked, as she said, easy, and she made it look easier than what I thought. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive. Nothing taken away from Britain whatsoever.
Britain is tough,
but. Christine really just, she poured it on. She's got that power. She has got power that's very scary, and I think it's going to be hard to match her. Yeah. Who's going to want to fight her?
Well, I can tell you two things. One, not yet, but the jab. You know about the jab. Martina Krull, I think
it's true.
That somewhere down the line, if she keeps up her winning ways,
jab, man.
I'd love to watch that fight. And Christine, I believe
boxing.
She might have said in an interview with us or somewhere where I was talking to her, somewhere I saw her talking, I can't remember, that like she gave her a lot of respect, Martina Krull. Now you know my name. And that was
who
the best
would
moment.
be the hardest matchup for her?
Well, we did a poll last week when you weren't here.
Okay.
Evan, do you remember the poll we did in the comments last week? It was Rachel for Christine. It was Rachel. It was
Evan stepped out, but I remember the result was Taylor Starling.
Taylor was the top one.
Taylor?
That's what people wanted to see. Yeah.
Wow.
I think Rachel came in second. I can't remember who the third fighter was. I'm so sorry. But they were all very close. But Taylor, thank you for that, Dave. Taylor was the top one. So I mean, look, the thing with Taylor is Taylor's been fighting. Taylor's again upward trajectory. She's doing
absolutely
well.
Exciting.
Trains hard. Loves being here. And I think that she probably would be fine with that fight too. And if she's fine with that fight, who am I to judge? I wouldn't be fine with that fight myself. Like I'm not the
matchmaker. I'm just saying, who do we think would pose? Christine has the most power. Let's call it.
But no, I'll change it. We've aired promos
Rachel's got
before.
some very.
Rachel's got.
I was surprised.
Yeah, there's overhand rights.
But she only has one fight.
But we've said it before in promos, and I do stand by this. At this point, with no disrespect to anybody else in the women's division, at this point, it can always change. Christine Faria is the most feared fighter in the bare knuckle fighting championship.
Here were the results from the poll last week.
All right, we got the results from the poll. Here's what we're talking about. Oh, it was Beck. How did we forget about Beck? Okay, so there you go. They're fairly close to the top two. Beck Rollins, 36% if you're listening on the podcast.
All right, so there's a big difference in who should. All right, so define should, or who would be a very formidable opponent for her. Who would be able to match her strength? Or maybe that's how the fight fans see it. Do you think Taylor Starling can match her strength and match her speed? I think Britain was faster than Christine at the last fight, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But she slowed down in the rounds, and Christine just poured it on. That power, I mean, it's tough.
I'm going to lose for that. Again, I know that any fight we're going to see in the female part of the organization is almost always going to be good.
Yeah.
So, even last time, it was Hannah Guy, when she came to fight for us. Who's Hannah fight? Was it Jenny Savage? No, I'm wrong.
Taylor Starling.
Yeah. Dude, listen.
Come on. And
Shut up, Evan.
She's on The Ultimate Fighter now, by the way.
Shut up,
Shout
Evan.
out to Hannah Guy.
She's on The Ultimate Fighter.
I didn't know
She's going
that.
to be on the new
That's
season. Her and Helen Peralta, too. A couple
Good.
of
Really? That's great.
BKFC
That's great.
alums going on.
We got him there. There you go.
Yeah.
So, back on BKFC. So, Hannah Guy, I go back to her where people were sleeping on her.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. Like, Hannah Guy is tough. And her background, if you look at it, it's tough.
Well, she's on. If she made it that far in the
That's
UFC,
what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's no slouch.
So whoever you see fight, even if you're, you don't know who this person is, and I apologize. Once we get done cards, because we're doing so many, I kind of move on, and it's hard for me to remember numbers. Or I just remember where we were at. But yeah, you can't sleep on any of these women. So I mean, if you look at it, really was not upsetting to me, but I couldn't believe the number of people like, oh, Hannah Guy's going to get her ass beat. Who's this Hannah Guy? Look what she did.
I know.
Alan Belcher in her corner. Alan Belcher immersing himself in bare knuckle. That goes back to what we're talking about. All these people are coming like this in bare knuckle together, and they're starting to immerse more in the sport and corner people. You see Joe Elmore showing up.
Joe, the champ, Arnold Adams. You got to give a shout out. He was in the corner of Christine. I was like, I didn't even know that. I'm like, wow. I mean,
another shout out.
That's
Elvin
tough.
Brito there.
Yep.
He was training with Britain. So like you're seeing all these fighters. They don't dislike. You're seeing like camps come together, and it's kind of cool to watch that develop. I can't wait to see what comes
this
next.
natural progression of things is wonderful.
So tickets still on sale, moving quickly. BKFC.com for March 12th. That's coming up in New York, Salamanca, New York, at Seneca Allegheny Casino and Resort. If you're anywhere close by, I don't care if you're in Canada, if you can get there. I don't care if you're in, Buffalo, where you're putting people through tables because you're a Bills fan. Which, by the way, a quick story. Last time when the Bills were doing really good in football, I begged this organization to buy a table and put me through it on social media or at the event. I was going to let the owner, the president, just slam me through a table in honor of the Bills fans. Guess what, Rob?
What's that?
They said something about legal reason BS. They wouldn't do it.
I mean, the Bills Mafia?
The Bills Mafia. You know.
How would we prove what type of job someone would have? Like, so for instance, hypothetically speaking, if I were to say I will buy 50 tickets and give 50 free tickets away to Canadian truckers, hypothetically speaking, how will we prove that they're a trucker or not?
I don't know. How would we do that?
So, can you get here from Canada yet?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask. If you can make it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where OG's in? Where's OG?
Oh yeah, where's OG?
He's in like British Columbia, isn't he?
He's in Vancouver.
Vancouver, is that where he's at?
Yeah.
And he's made it here. Shout out to OG Shawnee Mac because he's going to clip this. We love you, OG Shawnee Mac. BKFC show. Make sure you tune in. I don't know if we'll do it again. He clipped it last time we did that. I almost wore my OG shirt today, actually. I should have.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah, huge shout out to him. Respect for what he does. And like we said, anybody that covers the organization, we really appreciate you. That goes for OG Shawnee Mac. That goes for Mission Accomplished. That goes, I'm going to leave some about Knuckle Up Media. Yep. Joe Miggs, Paisan, that goes for him. It goes for everybody.
He knows more than you.
Joe Miggs does have the scoop,
Evan, do you want to talk about that, Evan?
Joe Miggs does have the scoop. Yeah, give it to him, man. That guy could break news like nobody's business, man. I don't know who he knows in the organization. I don't know if I think he must work in the BKFC office that nobody knows about.
No, I don't think either one. I think what happened was sometimes we have internet problems. I think he snuck in with a hat low as like a cable guy and
follow
bugged
Joe Miggs, man. Follow that guy. Follow him on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. Hey, man, when I don't know what's going on, I just bring up his profile. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm all caught up now.
But someone tells him more than they tell us.
Man, he gets it. He gets it first, man. So, however he gets it done, hey, more power to him. That's awesome.
He's an Italian, man. That's how he gets it done. He's got people. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm Italian,
I got a guy for that.
Yeah, I'm not his guy.
Tell me some news. I got a guy for that.
I'm not his guy. I'm not his guy. Well, look, again, we're excited for New York. Yep. We're going to be there. It's going to be awesome. Buy your tickets, BKFC.com. Or if you can't get there, of course, get the app, BKFC.com. $4.99 a month, the best value in combat sports. And if you didn't hear it, I want to say it again because we know with Triller's involvement now in the company, nothing's changing, including the pricing of the app. We're not going to nickel and dime you. We're giving the best value in combat sports.
Absolutely. Lock in that price now, $4.99.
What do you mean lock in now? That makes it not going to change. Rob, why would you?
I'm saying if you lock it in now, it won't change. Your grandfathered in, but 20 years from now, when a loaf of bread is now $47 and a gallon of gas is 127.
We won't be buying a loaf of bread 20 years from now. We'll be waiting in a bread line.
Real fast, man. Can we talk about that? How is it the price of gas can still continuously go up and more people are switching over to electric cars?
Do you want me to get
Isn't
into
that
this?
like
Do you really want
supply?
to get deep into this?
Ain't that supply and demand? Isn't that like economics 101, where it's like when there's more supply, the demand goes down. Like everyone's going to be driving electric cars in 20 years, and the price of gas is still going to be $27 a gallon.
I'll leave it at this. And those who know what I'm talking about will know.
Come on, man. U.S. government, do better.
Those who know what I'm talking about will know, but I'll leave it at this. Just cut costs. Everything better. Just cut costs. Cut costs.
Cut costs.
Anyway. All right, let's see.
And we took a lot of jabs real fast.
I think we did. I don't even know. What's this? So I was looking at texts from our producers here. They're probably telling me to wrap it up and shut my mouth. Did you send me this because you want me to read this out loud, or what's this? Oh no, I shouldn't read that.
You can't read it and say not read. Can I see it?
We have an announcement about the tryouts coming up. There were
that's okay. I didn't know if that was said to be said yet or not. So can I talk about that?
Should we?
Well, it's true.
Are we showing the tryouts?
Yeah.
Here's the tryouts.
Okay, good. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't know the text.
I didn't even see this.
I'll show you that later. That was the tryouts coming March 26th. And I guess can we have a breaking news? Because I didn't even know about this till now. I didn't know if I could talk about it.
No breaking news.
Evan, give me a breaking news. Come on, man.
Takes a second to queue up.
I know, buddy. I'm sorry. BKFC tryouts. Special guest Scott O'Shaughnessy. Hey, big fan of Scott. Scott, not only a fan of him as a fighter, but as a human being. I believe he does SWAT. I know he's some kind of lawman. We'll call him a lawman. But he's a nice guy. He's a great fighter, and excited to see he's going to be there for the special guest. It's March 26th, BKFC.com. You want to find out more, BKFC.com/tryouts. And we say it all the time. This is one of the only ways you're going to get in.
Where is it taking place at? What
Spanish
city?
Trail.
Yeah, I know, but
Slidell, Louisiana.
That's what I thought. I couldn't see it at the bottom. The ticker tape was covering up.
Scott's there, so I guess it's Louisiana. But the cool thing is, if you're new to these tryouts, they're going to put you through it. They're going to show you what they're looking for. But you got a guy like Scott there who's been in fights for BKFC. He's been in the wars, so he's going to be able to you'll be able to pick his brain. So even if you don't get picked, now we know who you are. Now you're on the radar, and now you've learned more from a Scott or a Nate Shook if he's there. I don't know who's all going to be there.
Just a heads up to everybody that wants to fight, right? You get a ton of I see the messages all the time. I want to sign up. I'm going to fight. This is awesome, blah, blah, blah. How do I get, how do I take part in? Your best bet, there's no guarantee in life. Your best bet is show up to the tryouts. The first tryout that was done in Philadelphia, Sam Shoemaker
broke the punch meter.
Exactly. He's now, a BKFC star. There's various other fighters that should. I believe Reggie Barnett Jr. was there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Lorenzo Hunt came from a tryout. Think about this.
A lot of people came from tryouts that are now, wow. They're champions, literally.
Even guys that, like we talked about Zach earlier, he came from a tryout, and guys got heart. So you show heart. We also don't just look for. If you're the best fighter, that's cool, and we want that, of course. That's what we thrive on here at Bare Knuckle. We want to see great fights, but we also want to talk to you and learn about your story too. Matter of fact, I brought him up before, but a couple of fights ago, I think James L. Knight Center. Like I said, I remember buildings. I can't remember numbers. Darwin, the kid's name was Darwin. He 22, BKFC 22, I think it was. Darwin fought on one of the opening fights, and I was in an elevator going up, and I guess he was with his girlfriend, and he's standing there. He's like, "Oh, that's Brian Sosha," and I'm like, "You know who I am? Cool. What's up, man? How are you?" And he's like, yeah. And he starts telling me this story, and it was really weird, but he was a good dude. He said that he was working his ass off. He was at work. He listens to the podcast, and he heard us last time we were talking about tryouts. So not last time, a couple times ago. So he showed up. And he didn't get picked, so he showed up again and didn't get picked.
Is this the guy that quit his job?
No, that's another guy.
Okay.
Same card, though.
Okay.
But Darwin saved all his tip money because he was moved by what we were talking about at the job he was at to finance himself to get to the tryouts. Came to 3 different tryouts. I believe Nate said, "Look, dude, we like what you're doing. You've been here 3 times. You don't need to keep coming." You know what he did? He came a 4th time.
Wow.
Yeah, and the kid got on the card.
That's awesome.
I love that kind of story because there's so many people out there that would not look. If you're trying to be a pro boxer, it's hard. If you're trying to get in UFC, it's hard, even if you're good. We're saying here, have this opportunity, show up. We're going to put you through it. We're going to look at you, and people look at it's not just the tryout. You got to remember that we film these things, so it gets on the app. So you're going to get some shine there probably if you get on the app. But more than that, in the office, we look at these tryouts, we analyze, we study the tape. So even if we don't impress us there, we're looking for a good fight, we're going to look at you.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get in.
Strongly encourage everybody to show up to whatever tryout you can. It's going to get more competitive. There's going to be more tryouts. There's going to be more people vying for that spot. You know, obviously this gentleman showed up to multiple times. So the hunger, the desire,
it's awesome.
It's second to none.
It's inspiring, quite frankly.
If you got the talent, or if you got the heart, you got the desire, show up, show us what you can do.
And in case you're listening to this and not watching it, so you're not seeing the graphic we have up, it's March 26th, BKFC tryouts at, where we at? Clementi's Gladiators Academy. Scott O'Shaughnessy's going to be there. BKFC.com/tryouts if you want to get involved. We'd love to see you there as well. Like I said, we're filming these things, so you'll get on the app probably. That'd be really cool. So we're looking forward to that. I wonder if Scott's going to bring, you ever see that thing he wears to the ring? It's like the Irish, like the what's that called, Evan? The thing that goes on your head. Like
the Spartan helmet.
The Spartan helmet. Irish Spartan helmet.
Or is it a robe? Not a robe. I think it's a Spartan helmet.
It's like really
well, that's his nickname. Yeah, he's the Irish Spartan
helmet.
Yeah.
I love it. He comes to the ring. He walks to the ring. I would trip and fall on my face if I had to wear that thing. But he comes down. It's so cool looking. Then he takes it off. He's ready for war.
Yeah, man. Some of these fighters and their walkouts, man. I love that, man. I'm a theatrics person, man.
So
Some of it's really awesome.
Let's talk really quick before we get off here.
Okay.
You talk walkouts. You brought that up. Some of the best walkouts that I've seen in BKFC history are Luis Baboon Palomino's always got a good walkout with the drummers.
Dude, the last one,
they were in the crowd drumming.
Yeah, I'm like, please get someone over there. Get a camera person over there. That was so cool.
I don't know if we
He's
told
awesome,
production.
man.
Luis,
He's second to none.
But I don't
dude.
even know if he told production about that. I think he just brought his people in there to drum. It was awesome.
That's legit.
And then, you can talk about all the different walkouts.
I got to shout out my man Lorenzo Hunt, man.
Me too.
He upset a whole lot of people with smacking the belt and doing all. He had his personal gripe with Hector, and that's why he did it. But his walkouts are second to none, and his energy is second to none.
Remember when he jumped out? He'd like jump.
Yeah, I was like, dude, my man can fly. And then, he could probably walk on the NBA right now.
Yeah, he's pretty good athlete. I mean, he's a really good athlete.
His walkouts are exciting.
And I'll tell you, the last walkout when he fought Hector, I told this story before too, but I made about $50 off that walkout. I mean, all the ones that were floating around, I just started picking them up. I paid for my dinner. I paid for my airport drinks. Like $50 a piece. Thank you, thanks, Lorenzo, champ. But always good walkouts. I love the theatrics. And I'm trying to think of any other walkouts. I love that when Luis comes out too, he wears that samurai warrior mask. It's quite intimidating. Other walkout wise, is there any other ones that stuck
Jim
out?
Jim Maller's sprints out at full speed.
Yeah, like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, you can never film him. We got to tell production
slow down,
move out of the way because he
they
just
don't
sprints full speed. So we're like, all right, clear the way.
That's been a while since I've seen Jim. Yeah, we got to prepare the production people to get the hell out of the way for him.
Yeah, man. Whoever does the production, we need to talk to them. We need like, old school, like huge arena, stomping, singing along. That's awesome, man. I get goosebumps when I see that, and I know the crowd gets involved in it. The fighters love it.
Yeah, well, I say it all the time when I do the pre-show hype. I always say these fighters they're fueled on their own energy, of course, and what they've trained for. But at the end of the day, when you're digging down deep and the crowd's going nuts, I would guess that helps them. So I think when you come out with these events, you just be as loud as you can. Plus, quite frankly, when I get the crowd hype, my job depends on it. So please be loud.
Yeah,
we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Caveman. I mean,
his walkouts are awesome. Yeah. He did Squid Games last time, right?
Every
time.
He wanted to. So with the fight in Wichita, he said he couldn't get the outfit in time on Amazon, but he wanted to come out. This was like height of the pandemic. He wanted to come out in like a quarantine, like COVID suit, like whole. You know what I mean? Like when there's like they were in Chernobyl, basically. He wanted to come out in that, but he couldn't get the outfit.
I love the fact that last time he fought for us, it was a similar situation with the Squid Game thing that he did, because that was really, really big at the time. So same thing. Amazon or whoever promised it to be, then it wasn't. And this guy, I like Caveman. He's fun to be around. Yeah. And he's so creative. He went and got like the Halloween like Jason mask, and he made his own Squid Game mask. He cut the screens out, like painted them.
Yuli Diaz did that as well. He had a pretty cool walkout. He had like a mask and this whole like, this Friday the 13th Jason. That was, they knocked my man out in like a 0.2 second. So
Yuli.
Yeah.
And then we had the one guy, who was it, that came out like wearing like a clown mask. It was kind of like, That
was Paul Teague.
I thought it was Paul Teague.
Pearl had the girls twerking.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. That was that was at Hard Rock, right?
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was terrible, man.
That was terrible because Rob's
hey man, I call it like I said, it's my opinion.
No, you're saying it's terrible. I mean, he's saying it's terrible because his girl saw him, his eyes go down and looking what was going on the
Lorenzo Hunt had strippers too, didn't he?
I wasn't a fan of that. I was a fan of his Superman jump.
Oh.
I said
I was a
like
fan of the money.
him throwing the belt on the
money
ground.
was with the strippers.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I'm a fan of the strippers. I just like the free money that was being thrown around.
Brian
you
liked
take
the
any?
money. Brian liked the
Yeah,
money.
I took it. I told you I took like 40 or 50 bucks.
Well, as long as you wash your hands after.
I don't care.
He benefited from that.
Dude, you should see some of the places I slept in college. Washing my hands after that's nothing. Places I've been.
Where have you been, Soch?
I can't say it even
Come
on
on,
the internet.
tell us one crazy place you've been in college. Just one.
I'd probably be, what do you be, a smart ass?
No, I just want to know.
I'll slap you around.
A little slice of life.
I'll slap you around. I
Slice
can't
of
give my
life.
slice of life because my wife watches this. And also, slice of life, we'd be kicked off YouTube, I'm telling you.
Yes, we would.
Wow. That
Yeah.
bad,
Let's just say I've been on, when I was in radio, I'll tell you that. I've been on multiple tour buses with multiple acts. And I never indulge, but I like watching the debauchery happen. And I can't say the names, but
Sure.
there's some interesting ones. And I'll tell you something else. The rappers,
Threw the brakes off of us.
the rappers, because I used to work next to a rap station. Every time I would leave my job, leave my show, the rappers would be out there partying and stuff. There were crazy stuff. Snoop Dogg and I'll tell you, I don't care. Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa. I was a big fan of Snoop Dogg. I was in my studio and I started smelling something, and I'm like, "What smells like a skunk? What does that smell?" And so I was like Scooby Doo. Like I floated over there to see what it was, and sure as hell, they were both in there rolling this huge blunt and just smoking it in the studio. And this is like, weed wasn't acceptable as it is now.
Yeah,
Even now,
sure.
it'd be weird to smoke it. You can't do that at work.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's these higher ups right down the office, and all the doors are slamming shut. And I walk in, and Wiz and Snoop are just in there smoking. And they left a roach there on they left it there. And their roach, which is, if you don't know,
It was probably a blunt.
it looked like a blunt.
Oh, God.
And then some guy who shall remain nameless, who's a very high-ranking official in radio right now, he took it, and he took it home with him, and he finished it off. He said he didn't know where he was. So that tells you how the
He
rap
smoked their roach?
Yeah, but it wasn't a roach, dude. Their roach was like a blunt. It was huge.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still, ugh.
I wouldn't do it.
We're gonna get banned with this
Should've
combo.
sold it
I'm
on
sorry.
eBay.
So I didn't know. I'm not saying I did it.
I know. I'm just saying. YouTube's like, you know.
Sorry, dude. Let me shut up about that. I guess this is the end of the show now,
Yeah.
right?
They're gonna cancel
Literally, I
us.
figured that we're done.
Do we have anything else?
I think we're done. Give us the
That's
rap
it, man.
symbol. Evan's got to give us the rap symbol.
Send us off.
All right.
Come on. That's no. Do it again. Give me a good one. Yeah.
What do you mean close us out? What do you mean close us out?
End this damn show.
Thank you for
I think
watching.
lunch is here.
We love you guys. Lunch is
Appreciate
here.
it. Thank
Enjoy
you
your
all
lunch
very
too.
much.
We'll see you next time. And don't forget, cheers. Knuckle up!
Like, comment, subscribe.